Hey guys, I wanted to make a quick video on top-down programming for coding interview questions. I've been coding like this during interview coding questions for a while now, and I personally think it's objectively better, so I just wanted to show it off. So what is what I'm calling top-down programming? It's kind of in contrast to trying to write all the code at the same level in the function body. Instead, you write like a sequence of data transformations of the function input with functions that don't exist yet, kind of like a data pipeline. It's kind of like writing pseudocode, but instead of writing pseudocode, you write like executable pseudocode, and then you go and implement those functions. So I think it would be easier to understand with an example. So I'll go ahead and illustrate it with the leak code problem that we did yesterday. So the leak code problem from yesterday was this palindrome question. Phrases a palindrome if, after converting all uppercase letters into lowercase letters and removing all non-alphanumeric characters, it reads the same forwards and backwards. So this is like 3 steps that we have to do here. Like step 1 is convert all uppercase letters into lowercase. Step 2 is remove all non-alphanumeric characters. And step 3 is now check to see if it reads the same forward and backwards. So here's how you would do that in a kind of more top-down style. So we write down the first step, convert all uppercase letters into lowercase letters. So like make lowercase s, and we'll save the result back into a variable. That's the first step. Second step is remove all non-alphanumeric characters. So like remove non-alphanumeric characters from S and save it back into a variable. And the third step is check to see if it reads the same forward and backwards. So is same forwards and backwards. Yes. And we'll just save that back into a variable called result. And then we'll just return the result. So this is a pretty high level translation of this problem into code, basically pseudocode, but it's actual code that we can run and define these functions and get the submission to be accepted. So here's how you would like now go and proceed and do the next thing. So we need to implement each of these functions one by one, and then we'll have our solution. So we can implement this function, make lowercase. I think that's just s.lower. That's the lowercase version. Just return lowercase. The next one is remove non-alphanumeric characters. So define this function. So let's go through, let's go through all the characters in S, and we'll say that if the character is alphanumeric, then we'll keep it and we'll make this into a string. So this is the alphanumeric. This is the alphanumeric version of S. We'll just return that. And then we'll implement this last function here. It's the same forwards and backwards. I think all we have to do is we say that S is equal to this guy, like it's like a slice of it, and we reverse it, and that's just like this is just S reversed, and we'll just return whether this is the same. Say is same. And yeah, let's run it. we actually don't pass the character in. It's a method. Typo here. Okay, cool. Let's submit it. All right, cool, we did it. So there you have it. We solved this interview problem in a top-down style. In summary, we translated the problem into a sequence of data transformations. We wrote some executable pseudocode with functions that didn't exist yet, and then we implemented those functions. As one note, you might notice these functions were pretty simple to implement, but in general, these functions can be pretty complicated. So you might be thinking that we just made more work for ourselves rather than implementing the code directly in isPalindrome, these functions here. But in my experience, it's really nice to take an initial first pass and kind of sketch out the main steps that we need to do, rather than actually thinking about how we do each one of these steps. Kind of splitting the two up. The really nice thing in an interview coding context is that this approach has you map the full solution out. Like, you demonstrate that to the interviewer as a first step. The alternative, when you don't do this, what can happen is sometimes one of these steps winds up being more complicated than you imagined, and you get bogged down writing it out. Then the main overall high-level flow is lost, and you're scrolling up and down trying to figure out what part of the thing you're trying to implement, and that's not a good place to be during an interview. So having a nice high-level compact description of the overall steps that you can keep referring back to is really nice in a coding interview context. Anyway, I hope that was helpful to see, and I'll see you guys later. See ya.